Hi, this is Kylie Coo. Welcome to my studio. So if this is your first time here or whether you've been here before, a very big welcome. So this is going to be a fairly quick show and tell style video, and it relates to a collaboration organised by PM Artist Studio and lots of artists taking part, but within that we were doing a swap between two. I've been paired with Ceri the Crafter, so he sent me items to feature in my project, and I'm going to open these in just a second. And I've also sent Ceri items. Now I'm also going to do a sort of fuller process video of what I make using these, and that will be a separate video. I've also made a video of the things that I've made that I've sent to Ceri, and that will also be a separate video. So let's get into opening this. So here's the package that came from Ceri. Now I've just opened it along here. I've not been inside it, but you know, a lovely handcrafted sticker on there, so I wanted to open it at the end so I could save that. But let's get in here and see what Ceri sent me to include in my project. Ooh, interesting. So, three things here. Kind of guessing what this might be just by the shape and the feel, but let's open it up. Aha, yes. Oh, so a pack of playing cards and in a very nice box. Right. So, some playing cards to include in my project. And or perhaps a box, we'll see about that. Go for this one now. Wow. So, some lace, and this looks pretty old. I call all these things kind of lace. I know there's different types have kind of different names, but that is beautiful. Beautiful. So, some lace to include in my project. And the final item. Oh, Ceri, these are wonderful. So, a little bundle of, I don't know what you'd call it. Oh, so that's like a kilt pin. Key, another key, fabulous, a Celtic symbol, a starfish. I'm guessing that could be off an old piece of jewellery, not sure, and a little, oh, I forgot what they call that design. It'll come back to me. So, let's see what the card says. Thank you, Ceri. That's a beautiful card as well. It says, "Hello, Kylie. I must admit this certainly was a challenge trying to find three items that went together, possibly for a single project, to be completed by an artist whose mindset would see different possibilities to my own. Phew. Hopefully I've chosen wisely. Vintage lace, playing cards, and charms. The charms were originally on the kilt pin, however I took them off to lay flat for the postage. So it is three items, although that looks like more. They were all on here, but he's taken them off. Mariah, that's Mariah from PM Artist Studio, stated we have to use each item, but I'm not sure if that's the whole of the item or just part of it. I've assumed part of each item is acceptable, which is why I sent a whole pack of playing cards, not just one. As we can use any other items within our stash, I hope this is a coherent group which will inspire a project. I'm looking forward to seeing what your creative soul comes up with. Thank you for being my swap partner, Ceri." Well, thank you very much, Ceri, and thank you for putting the card in. As you know, I had written a card with yours and forgot to put it in the envelope, but that's coming separately. Okay, so this is a few weeks later. from that earlier section. And this is my project for the Makers Creative Collab for June, organised by PM Artist Studio. The theme was Old is New, and we had swap partners. I was partnered with Ceri the Crafter. You saw the things he sent me earlier. I'm going to keep this very short because there's a lot of videos to get through, and I'd love if you would go and check out all the artists participating. But basically I've made 2 journals. I'm going to put this one off to the side. They're very similar except one I've got the cover going kind of portrait and the other landscape, but this is the one I'm going to focus on most, working in over the coming, I don't know, days, weeks. I've already started to do a bit in it. I'll put up a process video of how I made this though. I call these torn pieces journals. You might call it a junk journal, a scrap journal, whatever. For me, it's torn pieces, and I describe that as bringing together torn pieces and fragments of junk, of fabrics, of fibres, of art, and indeed of life. I've made these before. I make them all slightly differently. Perhaps once you've gone through the playlist of the artists participating, you could come back and see a previous example of this. But I'm really not going to spend long going through it. There is more work to be done in this. I have simply taken the kilt pin and 2 of the things that came on that and using that as the part of the closure. I've taken part of the lace, which I've cut up, and that's part of the closure. I've got plans to do more on this as part of my Torn Pieces journal. I've got a stitched cover. I've got a little bit of decoration on it. I've used some of the other lace on there. This will get further work on it. Within the kind of old is new, I've got a recycled cardboard box in here. And throughout this are pieces of scrap paper. Some have got stencils. These are PM Artist Studio stencils. And I literally just take scraps or tear pieces down from other pieces. Now you'll see in here that I've started to add some things. I think when I was waiting for glue to dry, I had doodled some faces, and I've actually started to add some of these in. I've been writing some things down. I'm not going to go over the detail of that just now, but these will get worked up into proper pages. That was the side I drew on just with a kind of felt tip pen, but I actually like this side, and especially with that cross over it. Again, this was all done on scrap paper. I've added little bits of the lace just on the pages. These were failed image transfers, and in here at various parts I did start off by trying to adapt all the playing cards, and some of them I've added in as little pockets. You have pages that open out. Here's a page I'd already started work on, although nowhere near finished yet. Little bit of paper, pages that will fold out with stencils, so these will get more work done. Fabric down here. Little pieces of fabric that I've put in. I've maybe seen a colour as I was going through and wanted to just add that in there. An altered playing card as a flip out, and so on and so on. At this point in time, this looks very basic, and that's just how I want it to be. And I will do an awful lot more to this. Here I've added in a piece of fabric, and on the back I've just stuck down another scrap, and that will become a kind of journaling card, I guess, of sorts. Created a little pocket here and another of the altered playing cards in here. You can possibly see that, you can still see that that was the Jock of Spades there. A little scrap from somewhere. So all the way through, here's another little drawing that I've started to work on. Almost elfin-like. That was one of those others, like I showed you, that I'd just been doodling. All scraps all the way through. So As I say, not much to look at just now. The other journal's pretty much the same. I will be working on this. I've started to work on it already. I feel drawn to work on it. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just added in a little bit of fabric there so I can push a few things in here. For example, if I want to take some cards with me when I'm away again, I've got that. I've got a box of scraps that I will just draw from and add to it. So that basically is my project. I do hope you'll come back and take a look at this as I work on it, or when I do a final flip through, which, you know, could be a little time away. But thanks to Ceri the Crafter for the wonderful items he sent me, and thanks also to PM Artist Studio for hosting the collab, and of course to all the other artists participating. So please do check out the list below that you can then hop through. So if you've made it this far, thanks ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye for now.